If you feel like your energy is stagnant and you want to get it back into flow, then this video is for you. My name is Lauren, I have a PhD in molecular biology, and today I'm going to talk about some of the most common reasons that energy stagnation happens and some of the approaches you can take to get your energy back into flow. Our bodies are made to flow energy through us, and I think of this energy as like a wave or a loop that needs to be completed. And whenever that loop is not completed, that's when an energy stagnation occurs. So think about when you're stressed out. Your body releases cortisol, which then tells your liver to release sugar into the bloodstream. And the intention of that sugar is that it can go to your muscles and go to your brain so that you can do something with that energy to either escape or change the situation that is stressing you out. But if you don't use that energy to escape or change the situation and it keeps on happening, then you have an energy stagnation because you're chronically having that energy released into your bloodstream, but you're not using it up properly. This can show up in so many ways, like not speaking your truth, staying in a job that you hate, staying in an abusive relationship, living somewhere that you don't like that makes you feel unsafe. There's so many ways that this can happen. And overeating is another way that your blood sugar can be chronically elevated. Overeating and stress often go hand in hand because eating food is very comforting. And I think there's also this proactive mechanism where your body thinks it's going to be using that energy up during stress, and so it wants you to eat more to replenish that energy. Infections are another way that energy can stagnate. Sometimes an infection is a result of energy stagnation, but sometimes an infection can also cause an energy stagnation because whatever is infecting your body is stopping the normal loops that are happening and sending that energy towards the infection instead. What happens when you're chronically stressed or when your blood sugar is chronically too high is that the cells stop wanting to take in more sugar because the mitochondria get kind of gunked up. If you're sending too much stuff into it, it'll get blocked up. It needs time to process everything that's coming in and clear it out and clean things up and reset. Our bodies expect us to have periods of not eating and periods of resting so that that reset can happen. Switching to that rest mode is controlled at the level of gene expression. When cells sense that nutrients are decreasing outside of them, they send a signaling cascade into the nucleus, and it shuts down the genes that are responsible for an active metabolism, and then it turns on the genes that are responsible for something called autophagy. The switch between these programs is so fundamental to how life works that we share this program in common with microorganisms like yeast. That's how far back it goes. It's almost like putting your phone in power saving mode or doing a disk defrag on your computer. I don't know if that's even still a thing, but anyways, it gives your cells a chance to rest and process all of that backed up energy, and then it also allows your cells to clean up any damaged components. And so what autophagy is, it literally means self-eating, is the cells will encompass any damaged or old components and then dissolve them into the molecular building blocks. And then those molecular building blocks can be used for energy to sustain the cell or to rebuild once nutrients are available again. Switching into different modes of gene expression is kind of like working your cells out. The more that they practice switching into the different modes, the more flexible they are and the more efficiently they're able to do it. But if you're always in energy stagnation and your cells are not given that chance to switch into the mode of resting and cleaning things up, then those genes get kind of locked away like an old dusty book on a shelf, and it's harder for your body to access them. This is called epigenetics. So the region of the genome where those genes are gets these marks deposited on it that close it up and lock it away. And this can happen intergenerationally as well. Fasting is a great tool to trigger your cells to pull those books off the shelf and dust them off and start to open them up and read them again and move into that metabolic mode of resting and cleaning up. Exercise is another great way because that will help to use up that energy so that it's easier for you to get into the autophagy. And then it's also just as important, though, to rest and make sure that you're addressing the source of the stress in your life. This is so much easier said than done because how the world is run today is extremely stressful. And I think that's why this has become so rampant and why so many people are resonating with what I have to say and why so many people are experiencing this energetic stagnation, because the conditions that we're living in are leading towards that. It takes practice and it takes consistency, but I was able to heal myself from conditions that I was told were going to be lifelong, like PCOS, digestive issues, all kinds of, like I had skin rashes. It was really bad. At some point I had so many different health conditions that I just had to sit there and laugh. If I hadn't intervened with changing my lifestyle to reduce my stress, fasting on a regular basis, making my gene expression more flexible with things like hot and cold exposure and all of these other kinds of things that I'm going to put into my free guide, you can sign up and you know where. If I hadn't done all those interventions, I don't know where I would be at with my health right now. Like, it was looking really scary. I say all this to give you hope. I'm tempted to share pictures of how I looked before, but I'm not quite sure I'm ready to put that on the internet. I was inflamed, I was upset, I was sick. You can probably imagine. And now I'm the happiest and healthiest version of myself, and I spend my time doing things like being outside in nature, trying to express that energy within me and share it with the world, right? Because I want to change the circumstances that are leading to all of us having energy stagnation. Because when all of us are happier and healthier, the world will be a better place. There's so much more that I want to say on this and so many questions that I haven't had the chance to answer yet. So let me know in the comments what are your most pressing questions, and stay tuned for a part 2. Thanks for listening.